Thank you, Jumpy, for everything. Jumpy, did you know you meant a lot?
0. You son of a bitch! Where are you hiding? What the hell are you talking about? The wrong path? What are you talking about? I told you! I am not gonna lose! Ouch! God damn it! What the hell?
After rubbing your aching behind, your vision begins to clear, which is when you realize that you're trapped inside a ship you don't remember boarding. But before you can grasp your surroundings, everything begins to shake. You soon realize that this isn't from your concussion. It was the entire room violently thrashing until suddenly...
Wait, it stopped?
Your instincts drive you to investigate, but as you creep towards the window...
Huh? What the? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What the hell is going on here?
With mere minutes before this entire room is submerged, you have to get out of it.
Hey! Anyone! Is anyone there?
You frantically scour the room for a way out, which is when you spot the red 5 painted across the door. The same 5 as the one on your watch. You don't have time. A trapdoor, a key. Is there anything other than this junk? Junk that shouldn't be here. You unscrew the photo, revealing nothing, until you flip it over and uncover the code. Could it match the suitcases? You punch it in and 3 blue cards drop out. But your eyes are focused on the hefty file. Scanning through it uncovers the one rule that will serve as your guiding light throughout the tortuous path ahead. A digital root is the sum of the individual numerals of any given number. You repeat this process until you end up with a number from 0 to 9. With such an emphasis on single-digit numbers, you rush to investigate the one structure with the digital root painted on it. Beside that door is a scanner you previously overlooked. You hold your watch to it, but nothing happens. Maybe you have to activate it somehow? I mean, there's only one button on both sides, pressing either of which proves unresponsive. There's no more time to experiment as the ongoing Castro assassination attempt is already ankle deep, with a red key still awaiting discovery. After some frantic searching, you find it taped to a mirror, and behind it, we catch our first look at Junpei, who struggles to piece together how he got here. We can glean key info from his backstory, being a college student and has an untreated case of schizophrenia.
I'm back. Not like anyone will respond.
So it was quite easy for someone to slip through the open window, hide in the closet, and spring their trap.
Who are...
Consider this a privilege. You have been chosen. You are going to participate in a game. The memory game. It is a game where you will put your life on the line.
Enraged at his hostage situation, Junpei attacks the mirror with all his might.
What the hell is a nonary game? God damn it!
Not causing so much as a scratch before grabbing the key. We unlock the red suitcase that once again contains 3 cards, this time red. But no matter the color of the cards, they all perfectly slot into the scanner. And so after utilizing the digital route, we escape both the flooding cabin and Junpei's exposition dump. But little do we know that our actions have just sealed an oblivious actor's fate. As the water rushes out of our chambers, we notice an opened door at the end of the hallway. Through this entrance, our jaw drops as we marvel at the incredible craftsmanship of a luxurious 20th century staircase. But while we're distracted by this enthralling sight, we neglect the giant wave that was about to crash into us. With no time to close the door, we vault ourselves up the stairs to the safety of higher ground. And as we turn the corner to A deck, we freeze, as do the 7 others glaring down at us. While confused, they don't exactly seem surprised at our sudden appearance. Least of all the dancer, who was the first person to snap out of it, followed shortly thereafter by a white-haired kid, an older man with a lion's beard, strawberry shortcake still clinging onto whatever relevancy she once had by dating real lunch-pail Stevie Wonder, and finally the duo every villain worth his salt needs makes their presence more than felt when the mountain catapults us halfway across B deck, which is where the group discover 2 numbered doors, similar to the ones we all just escaped from. As the reality of the situation sinks in, the silver-haired kid and the mountain try desperately to batter down the doors, but they're nailed shut. With no handles or keyholes, the only clue we have to work with is a scanner with the words "vacant" strewn across the top. After thinking that the near identical door would somehow succumb to their combined assault, we remember spotting a different type of door on C deck. As we bolt to investigate, we stop cold at the sight of another girl blocking our path. But this one is different from the others. Almost familiar but strangely foreign, as if she was both our most inseparable friend and someone we've never met before. Our staring contest lingers for a while before...
Watch out!
Oh my gosh! Is that you, Jumpy?
A light bulb sparks. At that moment, Jumpy recognizes his childhood friend, Akane. But why is she here? I mean, this has to be a coincidence, right? A theory that would soon shatter when we later discover that every person on this ship is in some way related to us. Their heartfelt reunion is interrupted when the loudspeaker crackles, as everyone soon registers who that familiar voice was. The man named Zero declines to answer any questions, aside from one, reiterating that we will play the nonary game where our very lives will be put on the line. Unlike the flashback, Zero has bestowed upon us the instruction guide to the nonary games. On this ship, there are 9 numbered doors, each of which can only be opened by the bracelets on our arms. Like with the cards before, doors will only open if the numbers add up to the digital root. But there's a catch. Only 3 to 5 people can scan their bracelets and enter a room at any time. The goal of this elaborate game is to find the door with the number 9, which also serves as the ship's only exit. But why would we play this game? What's stopping us from ignoring the orders of our kidnapper? Well, this ship, like the Titanic, is sinking. And while the Titanic took just 3 hours to reach the bottom of the ocean, the 9 of us will have 9 hours to find the number 9 door. And at that exact moment...
I hear a bell.
Rang 9 times, so 9 o'clock then?
And with that, the man named Zero wishes us luck before leaving just as abruptly as he arrived.
Hey! You bastard! What do you mean by that? Come out here, you asshole!
While the white-haired kid throws his tantrum, the rest of us are left to grapple with the realization that we're prisoners to a man's sadistic torture. But there's still so much that doesn't make sense. Why would Zero set up this game? Why pick the 9 of us who have no relation to one another? Aside from Akane, of course, but that itself is its own question. Eventually, the lion breaks our silence and attempts to rally us into action. The dancer quickly objects, adamant in her refusal to play by Zero's rules. But that isn't what he means. Who knows how thorough Zero is? If there's any chance of even a single oversight in his design, then we need to find it. That doesn't mean starting from zero, as the others have already scoured A deck. And so a top-down approach would make the most logical sense, if the ship wasn't actively sinking, that is. Which is all but confirmed when we find D deck already underwater. Now, before the mood grows too somber, the prince brilliantly deduces that Zero is controlling the flow of the water, so at least we do have the allotted 9 hours to get out of here. Even still, the lion is not one to procrastinate and rallies us to search C deck, where the doors are locked so tight even the more mountain than man can't bust them down. This brutishness only serves to earn him a scolding from the perceptive dancer who noticed something. This door has a keyhole, and above that keyhole lies a strange symbol. This isn't an isolated instance, as the pink bubbly girl announces that the elevators have more of these strange markings. Thankfully, Akane is an expert in the field and reveals that they are indeed astrological symbols. With no more doors on this floor, the next logical step is a cursory search through A deck that predictably yields no results. True to Zero's word, we are completely trapped. Well, we aren't completely trapped. The dancer stands firm. We can't fall to the whims of our kidnapper, which once again descends into an argument that overwhelms the entire group. Desperation from all sides trying to argue their point, unwilling to hear out anyone else. Somebody has to align the group or our hopes of surviving this ordeal are slim to none. And so...
Hey! Shut up!
We need to exchange information. We don't know anything about each other. I want to know who you guys are, who you are, where you came from, why you ended up here.
As noble as this goal was, Akane is about to escalate the situation.
I agree. I think Jumpy is right.
You maybe not want to call me Jumpy?
Okay. His name is Junpei. He resides at 814 Oak Hill.
Are you fucking retarded?
The mountain discloses that this isn't his first hostage situation. He points out that we don't know how much Zero knows about us, nor do we know whether he's listening in on us or ensuring Sophie Rain makes more than LeBron again. So he instructs us to use code names instead.
Like, I'll be 7.
7? Why are you 7?
Because this bracelet number says 7.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, I'm gonna be Santa. Any of you chumps know Japanese? San means 3.
Then your bracelet number.
Yeah, it's got a 3 on it. Good job, Grandpa.
Very well then. My bracelet number is 1. Given that, I think Ace seems appropriate.
I'll be Lotus then. As I'm sure you all know, it has 8 petals. Which means, of course, that my bracelet number is 8.
I would appreciate it if you would call me Snake. My bracelet number is 2. Since Ace has chosen cards, then I choose dice. Snake eyes, clearly. Which is particularly relevant given that I am blind.
You can't see?
Zero doesn't stand a chance against your sleuthing skills. The only person who doesn't seem surprised at Snake's eyes is Pink.
I want to be Clover. You know, like a 4-leaf clover. Good luck, right?
Alright, my number's 5. So my code name is good.
Why have one? It's not like there's any point to it now. I mean, we all know your name already. You're Junpei.
We don't know that. Zero could be gooning as we speak. The guilty Akane wants to reveal her true name, which is when we expertly exhibit W-Riz. At this rate, her head's gonna go through the floorboard before Zero has to flood C-Deck. And that was everybody. Well, aside from one person, he stayed eerily quiet this entire time. In fact, there's something uneasy about him. Something neither I nor Clover can quite shake.
What do you want us to call you? We all made up names. You should too.
I don't need one.
Why not?
Because I am not gonna stay here with you.
You've got some sort of plan?
I do.
Yeah?
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. His hair, the tasteless thickness of it. Oh my god, he even has crippling anxiety issues. There's no doubt about it. He pleasures himself to Lolly. Or as the rest of us know them as.
Clover, get out of there!
Stay back!
A knife. Did Zero not check? No, he planted the rulebook in our pockets. So why would Zero want the only contestant off his rocker to possess such an advantage? Well, as we would soon see, the ninth man isn't so insane after all. In fact, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Slowly. That's right. Just follow me. Here. Verify. Place your hand on the scanner panel, the round part.
What if I don't?
I'll kill you if I have to. All I need is your bracelet.
Say that again?
All I need is your bracelet.
He's played these games before. Clover's 4, his 9, Aces 1. Such flawless positioning. The way he wrenches that lever with his arm, backed by the strength of 1,000 hentais. We could only bear witness as the door obeys his commands. Before we can even react, he masterfully screams "cooties" before launching the redhead, using the ensuing chaos to make his daring escape. And as we're still floundering against the registry's greatest soldier, this confounding turn of events is about to spiral into catastrophe.
Clover, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Do you hear something?
Like, what?
Like some sort of beeping.
The ninth man,
Why is it stopping? God damn it!
who betrayed us without hesitation,
You lied!
was crying out like a dying animal.
This wasn't supposed to happen!
What is happening in there?
Open the door, please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please get me out of here! Get me out of here!
But the scanner would no longer take our hands.
Oh my god! There's no time left!
And so, the man marked for death left us a parting gift.
It was him! He killed me!
Who? Lotus is Zero?
Oh my god.
Good God.
Whoa, that's pretty bad.
He blew up.
While the ninth man may have been a terrible monster, he doesn't deserve this. Dark red chunks of flesh splattered throughout, organs strewn like yarn across the hallway, a neck twisted at unnatural angles, half his face pulverized. For some, this sight was too much to bear.
June, are you okay? What the hell? Where'd this fever come from? All right, okay, let's just rest for a minute, okay? You think you can walk? Here we go.
Why? Why did this happen? Why did this happen?
With all eyes on us, we ask if anyone knows anything about Zero.
It's 10 o'clock then.
An hour had already passed, and after all this time, we've barely crossed the starting line in the opposite direction. We weren't getting anywhere, and some people were done sitting still. But Santa's outburst falls on deaf ears, especially with you-know-who. She doesn't want to end up like the Ninth Man, and what can I possibly say to that? The Ninth Man fell for his trap. How can we be sure that our fate will be any different? Maybe we shouldn't take part in Zero's twisted antics after all. Everyone else is in agreement. Everyone except the man loading the silver bullet. Snake claims the Ninth Man didn't set off a trap or fall for Zero's bait, but that he broke one of Zero's rules.
All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute.
That is correct. A gold star for you, Junpei. The Ninth Man, however, broke that rule.
That's possible, sure, but how do we know that Zero isn't just making us dance for his amusement?
Because this execution system is entirely automatic. Here.
A card? Come on now, what's the point of giving me this?
Give me that. Huh? The hell is this?
I see.
Eventually, the note turns to us, and
This is Braille.
with everyone clamoring to find out what it says, Snake finally reveals to the class the two special rules. The scanner, or red, verifies your number, opening the door and starting a timer using your bracelet. 81 seconds. You have to deactivate the dead on the other side. 81 seconds before the bomb in your stomach goes off. The twist is that the red doesn't activate your bracelet. Going through a numbered door does. So if you didn't verify your number on the red, or someone who did verify stays behind, you can't verify the dead. There are two ways to remove the bracelet. Escape from the ship by finding the 9 door, or have your heart rate reach 0. Any attempt to remove it will cause the bomb to explode. You can imagine that the others aren't taking their involuntary recruitment to Japan's branch of ISIS well. But while the group is in disarray, perhaps we could unite behind our common foe. A realization that pushes us to once again ask about Zero. And of course, it was the man known to speak his mind who responded. Santa dramatically reveals that he had seen Zero and his gas mask with his very own eyes, just like everybody else.
How about you, Seven? Did the same happen to you?
Oh, me? Yeah, well, mine was just like the rest of yours.
While we all saw Zero, the only duo to see him at the same time were Clover and Snake.
We're siblings.
Siblings?
Yes. Snake is my older brother. That means I'm his little sister.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. But that's not even the weirdest relationship here, as the others ask about us and June. This investigation continues for a while, bouncing around ideas on who's connected to who, piecing together a puzzle of what or who Zero could be. The side effect of such an exercise was the group building respect and trust towards one another, which is going to make this next part easier. With just 7.5 hours left, we've at the very least come to a common understanding. We may be prisoners on this ship, but we have a chance of making it out alive. Not everything is perfect, of course, as Lotus refuses to go through door 5, threatening to derail our momentum. And she isn't the only one.
Oh, Santa, not you too.
I just got these J's, they fresh out the box.
7 bites the bullet and commits to go through the 9th man's grave before Snake quickly does the same, causing his sister to try to get him to change his mind. But once again, Snake somehow knows something he shouldn't.
How do you know that?
Because I do.
Ace agrees to join the 3 of them, making a digital route of 5, solving the issue, while the rest of us are left with a digital route of 4. Perfect. But as everyone moves to their assigned door, we have to ask, is this the best option? I mean, Snake knew the water levels wouldn't rise, knows we will meet back up again, hid the Braille note until after the group refused to take part in the game when he could have saved the 9th man instead. And now he volunteers to go through the 9th man's grave? Does it have something to do with the human remains behind that door?
All right then. It seems we've reached a conclusion. Shall we go?
Unfortunately, the allure of Coochie ultimately overpowers our curiosity. Before entering door 4, we see off the members going through door 5, just in case. After verifying the red, Ace pulls the lever, they mush their way through what remains of the 9th man, Snake faster than others for obvious reasons, and 9 seconds later, the door closes, and familiar ticking starts. They don't say a word. We call out, but no response. Despite our constant banging for any sort of confirmation, there's nothing but ticking. Until 7 finds the dead, the beeping stops, and the audible sighs let out. Clover describes the dead for us, same as the red, but blue. And so, with the fear and bated breath of Anne Frank in the attic, the 4 of us move to the vacant door, authenticate, and enter the jaws of Zero. There's something wrong with the bracelets. Santa's shocked, June hyperventilates, Lotus petrifies, and the skulls keep ticking. 8 rooms, far too many to search in just 81 seconds. How long has it been anyway? We have at least a minute left.
It won't open!
We tear through the hallway looking for something, anything, until we finally see a blinking red light that everyone gallops towards. With no more than 15 seconds, we reach it. 10 seconds left after everyone verifies. But did we do this right? Did we miss something? Are we going to die?
Looks like it stopped.
As the adrenaline tapers, we stare at the giant door towering over us.
And of course it won't open.
In its keyhole hung a symbol. June identifies it as the symbol of Mars, and where there is a lock, there surely is a key. But where would we find it? Every door is locked, except for 2. We break off into pairs as the game's second puzzle section begins. The first room begins to explore the character of June, who has a creative mind when she isn't collapsing from a fever. Something the matches on the table remind us of. Unlike before, she seems to be doing much better, which might have more to do with having us all to herself than anything else. Which makes you think, doesn't it seem strange that 2 childhood friends would meet here after all this time? She throws us off with an intriguing offer. But I mean, look at the cinnamon roll. That number can't be higher than the speed limit of the streets she reps.
Time 0.
Look at me, 18 times. Worst part of the game, and there was even gore porn. To cool off, I resumed the search in the bedroom, containing a pitcher of water, reminding the 2 how sweaty they are. The nightstand that contains a key, but not for the Mars door. June offering to shower with us before we uncover what appears to be a map of C-Deck. This at least gives the pair a perspective of what ship they may be on. Standing at 900 feet of 20th century marvel, and factoring in Zero's earlier comments, there is one obvious answer.
You mean it, like, slipped through time and ended up here?
I am willing to wager all the minorities in my torture chamber that her school bus had space for a wheelchair. This was indeed the Titanic. Kind of. You see, the Titanic had a near identical sister ship, the Olympic. But unlike the Titanic, its construction was fraught with problems and budget cuts to the point where the company didn't know what they could do with it. With limited options and budget, they decided the best way to move forward was to replicate the Olympic to look identical to its more popular sister ship. Now, this might not seem strange until you learn that they took out a massive insurance policy for the Titanic right before it actually set sail. And so, did the Titanic really sink, or was it the ship, fraught with building problems, that's lying there in the bottom of the ocean? Was the Titanic secretly in use for 20 years as the Olympic? June isn't convinced. She is far too pragmatic for such conspiracy drivel. I mean, if this story is indeed true, then that would mean the Titanic retired in 1935, which couldn't possibly be the case since the Titanic was obviously sunk by the curse of 1935. Akane's eyes coldly bore into us, no hint of irony to be found anywhere in those unblinking irises, as she tells us that an Egyptian priestess stolen from her pyramid and stowed away on the Titanic was actually the reason it sank. But you see, the mummy wasn't actually a mummy. It looked almost lifelike, as if she was frozen. But no matter where she was taken, even in the desert, her ice never melted. Now, while this might seem implausible, that implausibility is June's central hypothesis. Maybe her theory only appears silly because we don't know it's true. Imagine for a second, you go back in time to a medieval lord, and you told him that you could call the Emperor of China from across the world in real time. What would his response be? Maybe curses are real after all. The conversation withers as we return to our search, but there's one thing on our mind that we just can't shake. Ice that doesn't melt. Where have we heard that before? This cabin offers little more of note. Maybe we can find use for these tools in the next room, nearly identical to the first, aside from the painting on the wall missing its pieces, one of which we find in the bedroom dresser. And while the bed doesn't contain a piece, it does strangely enough have a shower curtain. Right then, the candle burns out, revealing a key to the dresser, and the third piece is secured. Before we can move to the next obvious location, Santa interrupts us. He has a gift, a bookmark. He doesn't believe we'll have any use for it, but the reason for his gift is interesting.
You know what I hate most in the world? I got 4 things: hope, faith, love, and luck. Each leaf on the 4-leaf clover has a meaning to it, okay? And that meaning is pretty much those 4 words. Just touching it gives me the creeps. Take the damn thing, alright?
We decide to go along with this dramatic display and ask why his vitriol of certain numbers is only surpassed by King Von. More specifically, the number 4, a half-assed number, unlike 9, which is the most powerful hand you can play in Baccarat, as opposed to the monkey hand, also known as 0.
What? Oh man, you're totally right. The guy who trapped us in here sure is one hell of a monkey.
Lotus cuts into this unstable gentleman's chortle with a more serious perspective. The 9 of us have 9 hours to find the 9 door and win, but that's not all our death game shares with Baccarat. The 9 bracelet is also the most powerful hand, allowing the user to enter any room they wish without upsetting the balance. A shame such a powerful tool was taken out so early.
She wasn't all shriveled up or rotten or anything. She almost looked alive. They say that she was frozen. Even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted.
Ice that doesn't melt, even in the desert? Does something like that really exist?
In Baccarat, the best possible hand totals 9. They call it Le Grand.
Something is off about this picture. Lotus has seen it before. The famous biochemist Sheldrake has a rather interesting theory on morphic resonance. After explaining part of the theory and getting scolded by Santa, I expected the normally combative Lotus to respond harshly. But even more frighteningly, she just coldly stares, trying to understand the theory herself. She begins by asking what the picture is of exactly, which was almost impossible just by looking at it, which is the point. A British TV station chose pictures that, at first, were difficult to identify, but after you did, you couldn't see it as anything else. Those pictures were of the lady and the dog. They were first sent to areas outside the UK like the United States, Europe, and Africa, and in these countries, a study was run to see how many people could correctly identify the picture. 9.2% identified the lady, and almost 4% identified the dog. But this was only the first half of the experiment. 2 days later, the British TV station aired a program on the show that broadcast only the dog picture and its solution to about 200,000 people in Britain. A few days later, they ran the same experiment from previous outside the UK, making extra sure not to pick people from the previous round. The results: Lotus grows more manic, explaining how the woman was identified 10% of the time similar to before. But the dog was different. The people able to identify the dog doubled to almost 7%, a massive increase. The people in the experiment couldn't have possibly seen the TV program or known the answer, yet the correct responses doubled. She steps away, gathers her thoughts, and explains the theory. There is an invisible electromagnetic field around the globe that can't be seen by the naked eye, transmitting information. So the more people who see the answer of a difficult problem, the more this field disseminates the information, and more people who've never seen the answer before will instinctively know it. That is the theory of morphic resonance.
Psych!
She was joking this entire time. Not about the experiment, that was real, but it was only one study done by a TV station who probably just wanted to boost its ratings. But while Lotus and Santa laugh off the prank, something was making us uneasy about this entire thing. I wonder what June would think about this theory. Which reminds us, we scoop her up before we escape the room into a hallway, barred on one side by a gate. The remaining door leads into the ship's kitchen. Lotus takes initiative for once and finds the exit, which requires a keycard. But where does this exit lead? Luckily, we still have the map in our back pocket.
Let me see that.
That we forgot to mention to the others. Lotus quickly determines that going through the locked kitchen door would put us on the opposite side of the gate, as the game's third puzzle room begins. The kitchen itself houses different types of dinner plates. Lotus informs us the dinnerware is centered around hexadecimal, a concept that just needlessly muddles numbers. After the number 9, there are 6 letters that are attributed to the numbers 10 to 15, and after F, you go back to numbers, meaning that 10 is 16 in hexadecimal. I shake my head, questioning the point of all this before grabbing the nearby whetstone, which reminds me of the knife I saw in the cheese closet, the sight of which prompted June to remark on her newfound interest: futility. Not futility the word, she's talking about the book.
Is there a lore reason why the Titanic sank? Was it stupid?
14 years before the Titanic sunk, the book actually predicted its exact sinking, down to the method, ship's name, nationality, course, departure time, size, displacement, max speed, number of people, rows not scooting 2 inches, all of it. But it gets creepier. Futility was the first of 3 books to predict the Titanic's sinking, and June is a perfectly valid theory to explain this conundrum. A ghost was possessing the writers.
Nobody had died on the Titanic yet. Who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff?
That's not it.
What's not it?
Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing.
Excuse me, my mistake. The writers possessed the ghost. What? I don't want to hear any more of this and excuse myself to snatch the baby oil, confirming that the soreness we felt after waking was just an old friend paying us a visit. After pretending the rusty lock is a 14-year-old boy, we managed to enter the freezer, which Lotus nopes right out of for 2 obvious reasons. But is June as a replacement any better? I mean, after all, she just recently bounced back from her fever. Huh? Uh-oh. Was this one of Zero's puzzles? It couldn't have... Wait, Lotus can open the door for us.
You've got more people in there. You figure it out.
With the deep freeze penetrating our cells' cytoplasm as we speak, work immediately kicks off on our escape, during which we discover a stash of dry ice or frozen carbon dioxide, the sight of which sparks the most comedic moment in this entire series of games.
Carbon dioxide sublimation point is negative 109 degrees. Any warmer than that, and it'll turn into gas. Any lower, and it becomes a solid.
Uh-huh. Hold that thought for a moment. Santa's just passed out from hypothermia. Can we focus on getting out of here?
There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees.
Huh?
I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees.
Yeah. Are you fucking The story of Ice 9 is actually pertinent to our situation, so I'll explain it while our quirky group of college students commit an act of terrorism. Ice that only melts at 96 degrees Celsius. The science behind it mimics diamonds and graphite, both made from carbon, but the molecules are structured differently, resulting in different materials, like water in Ice 9, which is where the crystallization of glycerine comes in. For 150 years after its discovery, people have heated, cooled, and molested glycerin, but no matter how warm your anus was, it just wouldn't crystallize. This all changed in 1920, when a shipment of glycerin miraculously crystallized on a ship. But after scientists asked for samples to study, things took a very strange turn. Nearby glycerin molecules were encouraged to crystallize by their neighbors, and it didn't stop there. Eventually, samples from around the world began to crystallize. And so, after 150 years of never being able to crystallize, from then on, glycerine around the world began to enter that form when cooled to less than 64 degrees. You could say that the glycerin around the world was communicating in a way that couldn't be seen by the naked eye. After our heroic escape, we uncover what Lotus has been doing while we nearly froze to death.
Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys.
What were you doing?
What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting.
We were gonna die!
Oh, yeah? But you didn't. So everything worked out all right, didn't it?
What the hell?
Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried.
Oh, don't give me that crap!
I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here, and I'd die too. See? I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door. But I couldn't find anything. So, all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops?
Fine. But there's one thing I have to ask you.
What's that?
You didn't close the door, did you?
Wait, what? You think I closed the door on you?
After we simmer down and think about it for a minute, she has a point. If she wanted to kill us, why not bar the door? At the very worst, she's just neglectful, not murderous. Still though, she could have tried to do something other than napping. She would make a terrible mother. The freezer wasn't all bad, since we did find a slab of pork with a paper stuck inside. This paper reveals a combination of letters and numbers, which when added up using hexadecimal, gives us the combination code to the safe, holding the Saturn keycard. And it turns out the map was right, as we are now on the other side of the now opened gate. We rushed down the stairs before committing a mistake that nearly cost us our lives.
Hey, look, it's Lotus's symbol.
Huh?
See? It's the woman symbol with horns on it. That seems like...
The elevator requires a herpes key, which naturally meant that we had to go the opposite way, which led into a massive hallway containing an unending amount of rooms. Too many to search through, especially when there's still one door left, the ship's hospital. And at the back of that hospital, 3 more numbered doors. But there was something strange about these doors. One of them was without a number. Even more pressing was the fact that the red display wasn't lighting up. And sure enough, after verifying, what? Did Zero mess up? Is he messing with us? What happened? Thankfully, the group's greatest detective has an answer for that as well.
I believe the bottom of the device has been removed.
How did you guys...
How did you end up here?
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
After getting past the shock and camaraderie, we finally address the elephant in the room. Or rather, the room. Why the fuck would a cruise ship have such a massive hospital room? I don't recall the Titanic nor even the Olympic having one. And as Seven would soon tell us, they didn't. We were on the Gigantic. The Titanic had a second sister ship. This one was less known than the others because before it could be fit for cruises, the First World War broke out and the British Navy commandeered her to become a hospital ship. While out in the Aegean Sea, a German mine damaged her and she was forced to run ashore but survived mostly intact. What happened after that? Nobody knows. The prevailing theory is that Lord Gordain, whose trauma from surviving the Titanic had turned him into an obsessive of everything that had to do with the ship, and so naturally bought the Gigantic. And as we would later find out, Lord Gordain's fingerprints are all over the nonary games.
What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Well, I mean... I don't know.
Brilliant. Your theory is bulletproof.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
I knew it. Before we caught up with them on the stairs, Seven revealed that he had no memory of anything from before he woke up. But why wouldn't he tell us?
Huh.
It's midnight.
Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
We have to find the red. Unfortunately, the Door 5 group arrived long before us and has already searched the entire floor, aside from one location. And so, despite Lotus's protests, we split up and agree to meet back here in an hour. 5 hours left. When we return, we're surprised to find that everyone looks like they've seen a ghost. Well, they didn't exactly see it. Only now do we register that Clover's normally cheerful personality has been replaced by the worried look of a loved one. Someone is missing. I mean, Snake probably just got lost, considering he's blind.
No! That's impossible! Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing! He can get around as well as anyone who can see! I'm gonna go look for him!
After already wasting an hour, we'd have to waste another trying to find the missing sibling? Or do we? Lotus does mention that we could just leave, but the opinion was met with adamant refusal by June, apathy from Seven, and sarcasm from Santa. We don't have time for another groupthink session, not with just 5 hours. And so Ace spurs the search party into action, but as the others leave without saying a word, we can't help but think that things are about to take a turn for the worst. We pair up at June's behest and figure that the best place to start would be the door Snake's group came from, which leads to the casino. There we find Lotus, who stares blankly, lost in thought. But right as we were about to ask for her opinion on something that's just been bugging me, she drops her bombshell.
I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it?
What is it?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up?
Team up?
Yeah. What? You need me to explain it to you? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door?
Even if we wanted to, that's impossible. Our digital route would be 1. But there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room.
Then we add another person.
Who?
What? Isn't that easy? 7.
Wait a minute. What about the other 4?
No! Are you saying you'd leave them behind?
Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, couldn't we?
June slams her bullshit. But while Lotus does nothing to mask the fact she's dismissed everyone else's survival, there's one gaping hole she's overlooked.
Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship. The 4 of us couldn't open door 9.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate? That's all you have to say?
What is she angling at?
A way to get out of here with all 8 of us.
That's impossible. Are you being serious? And you do know that only 5 people, at most, can go through one of the numbered doors, right? The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind.
This was her point. No matter what happens, 3 people will be left to die. With no Snake to be found, we head down to the B-class cabins. As beautiful as the ship was, Clover's hopelessness made this sight unbearable.
Alone.
Why yes, your brother did leave you all alone.
I said leave me alone! You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off!
Wait till you hear. Come on, Jude, tell her about the magic water.
Forget it! If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just...
Right as it seemed, we were all getting along so well.
Oh, it's Ace.
Hey, Snake! Where are you? Ah, hello there. Snake is... Well, that's obvious, isn't it? I assume you haven't found him yet?
No, we already found him. We just decided to take a leisurely stroll, this being a cruise ship and all. He acts normal enough for us to finally let out what's been bugging us. Clover and Snake look nothing alike. Are they really siblings? Ace shrugs off our concerns since there are a lot of siblings that don't look alike, before he walks off right after. For now, there is only one more place to search. Back at the hospital room where we catch Santa inspecting one of the numbered doors and wondering who put the red back. The only possible answer would have to be Snake, who may have found a way to enter one of the rooms. But he would need at least 2 people, no? If that's the case, then one of us would know who fixed the red. But why would that person want to hide that info? We cut short that train of thought as the obvious answer.
Yeah. Look, if you trust anybody in this game, you're gonna lose. You've gotta be careful. The person you trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back.
The group is fracturing, and it would only spiral further after we realized that Snake was nowhere to be found. We're running out of time. Snake will have to wait, but with 3 doors, how exactly are we going to split up? Thankfully, Lotus has the perfect plan. For her, we no longer have the numbers to get everybody through the door, and so we have to leave one person behind. June is adamantly against that suggestion, but Santa's thinking practically. We can't save everybody. A thought shared by 7, making it 3 votes for the plan. Clover, of course, doesn't take much convincing when Cleopatra warmly whispers that Snake has to be behind one of these doors, giving her just enough hope to overlook the fact that if he is behind one of them...
The motion carries.
It's now time for the big question. Who do we sacrifice? As if this group couldn't be any
That
more
won't be necessary. I will stay.
Come again?
I will stay. That should solve our problem, yes?
Ace has been our leader throughout this entire ordeal, but to sacrifice himself, there's no way that he's delusional enough to believe that we can come back and rescue him in just 4 to 5 hours. Nonetheless, there's nobody else who volunteers to stay back, and so we all accept this outcome.
Wait! All of you! Let's just calm down and think about this. There has to be a way to get everyone out! There has to be! Right, Jumpy? Say something!
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way.
Fine! Forget about it! I'll figure it out on my own. Ace! Come on, Ace. Please stand up! You can't give up yet. We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here. Ace! What happened? Ace, say something!
I'm alright.
How are you all right?
This.
Soperil must be a doctor. Well, no matter how surprising this turn of events is, we really have no choice now. But without Ace holding everything together...
We can't let his sacrifice go to waste. Right?
Like you even mean that.
Turns out he's not alone.
I want door number 8. It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Got it. You're 8. You're next 7. Which one do you want?
I'll take 7. I can't get along with that old lady.
What? What did you just say?
Who, me? I didn't say nothing.
From the 3 options laid out, I go with door 7, meaning June can't be with me this time, much to our surprise. They get a little mushy, despite the fact that, we will reunite, which 7 explains perfectly.
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9. In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now.
It's open!
Let's do this!
Hurry!
June.
Jump.
Are you fucking retarded?
We have to find the dead. Thankfully, it wasn't particularly difficult to locate, but the adrenaline was still nerve-wracking. 81 seconds to defuse a bomb. No matter where the dead is, it's enough to rattle anyone.
I would have thought a guy your size would have bigger balls than that.
What the hell did you just say? Say it again! I dare you!
You have no...
Do you have evidence Snake went to heaven or something? He'll use you as his cumsock. We save Clover's life by pointing out that the operating room is the only available door. Snake? Never mind. It's only a mannequin. And that's not the only one. Finding a second as well as a fake chest. Safe to assume we're looking for body parts, but the fake lung seems a little out of place. It's actually what's inside the lung that we use to unlock the preparation room where we stumble across schematics of both mannequins and their specific weights. But this area is blocked off until we check the other room where we find both blue and red bottles of liquid, and my medical background allows me to crack open the safe without Google, concealing an arm and a heart. Meaning all that's left is the first room, if somebody hadn't taken interest in the EDT bottle.
It looks like it's cleaned my brain up.
What, you remember something?
Yeah. Well, I remember a story about EDT.
The story starts 50 years ago at an American factory that made EDT crystals for detergents. But something strange begun to happen. Water molecules started attaching themselves to the crystals, which turned them into a hydrate, making them useless as detergents. It doesn't end there. From that day forward, any factory, research lab, anything in the world could never again make pure EDT crystals.
It was like... how do you say it?
Like the molecules were communicating with one another, transmitting information in a way humans couldn't perceive. This phenomena spread throughout the world, right?
Yeah, that's it exactly. but how did you know?
I tell him about the Ice 9 story, which...
Ice 9. Ice 9. Ice. That's it. I remember now. That woman, she's on this boat.
That woman?
Alice!
A few days after the Titanic sunk, a boat was sent out to recover the dead bodies, all frozen solid after being near the Arctic. Among the bodies, they found a coffin, masterfully crafted as it was airtight with no screws or reinforcements. After prying it open, they find a woman, or at least the corpse of one. But what was strange about her was she had no signs of decomposition. It was almost as if she would wake up at any moment. After a few more hours of search and rescue, they began to return back to shore and warmer climates, obviously leading to the frozen bodies to melt and create this awful stench. All ice, or Alice as she would be called, refused to thaw even in the desert, although they wouldn't have time to determine why as soon after her body mysteriously disappeared. But Seven knows exactly what happened to her.
Well, around that time, the word was that there was a special black market in New York. All millionaires from all over the world. I've heard that Alice went up for auction there. The person who won the auction was Lord Dashiell Gordain. You've heard that name before, right?
Lord Gordain. Oh, isn't he the guy who bought the Gigantic? The Titanic's sister ship?
Yeah, that's him. Although I guess he hadn't done that yet. Gordain bought Alice in 1912.
Hey, I thought they put a stop to that in 1865.
4 years later, in 1916, he bought the Gigantic, and he hid Alice somewhere on the Gigantic. Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge beneath the navel of the Gigantic.
At that moment, Clover broke us out of our stupor and got us back to work. But Junpei just couldn't shake the story. It was near identical to June's mummy. Back in the other room, we mixed the liquids to unlock the closets and obtain the rest of the limbs before we used the weight guide from earlier to properly mix and match, unlocking one of the trap doors, which contained the Jupiter key. But as we go to escape, Clover isn't with us. She's fixated on the ground, silent.
My brother might be dead. I'm going to be next.
Oh yeah. It's in my pocket somewhere. A 4-leaf clover. Hey, did you know? Each leaf means something. Hope, faith, love, and luck. That's what a 4-leaf clover stands for. Take it. Use it as a good luck charm. Listen to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck.
After plagiarizing with the best of them and some words of positive assurance, Clover's mood changes, thanking us and putting us well on our way to this anime's harem ending. But before we join back with Seven, she has one more question.
What do you think when you hear the word experiment?
What?
Oh. I guess it was just a coincidence then.
When I probe for more details about the experiment, she finally decides to trust us with the story of what happened on this ship 9 years ago. There was an experiment to test communication through fields that could not be seen by the naked eye. Every story we've heard from everyone shares one thing in common: morphogenetic fields. And for Clover's edition, she asks what I know about lock sock.
Let's say I've got a pair of socks. They're my favorite socks. One of them gets a hole in it. What would you do if that was your sock, Junpei?
Well, I'd pitch it, I guess.
But it's your favorite pair of socks.
Come on, who loves their socks that much?
Imagine they're June's socks.
I'd patch them up immediately.
But what if another hole opens?
I'd add another patch, I suppose.
What if another hole opened after that?
Another patch, I guess?
Well, let's say you just keep adding new patches. Until eventually, the original cloth of the sock is totally gone. Once you get to that point, can you really say they're the same socks you started with?
Well, that's tough. So, that's the locked socks thing?
Yeah, the ship of Theseus is a lot like it. The ship of Theseus. If you keep fixing the damaged parts of a ship, eventually it ends up with none of the parts it started with. Can you really say that ship is the same one you started with? And what if you took all the old parts from the first ship and built another one somewhere else? Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus? The one you repaired, or the one you built with all the original parts?
Our bodies, just like these mannequins, continuously change as new cells keep regenerating. Maybe our right arm is made from a cow, and that cow was made from something else. It's like we're all connected through...
Hey, what the hell is taking you two so long? How long are you gonna make me wait? We don't have time to screw around.
Clover only trusts us.
Let's go, Junpei.
Playing with mannequins, huh? Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei.
All right, let's get going.
Hey man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know? Can't you sound more happy, you know, get a little excited?
Not really.
My brother might be dead. I'm going to be next.
Like hell I can. Not after hearing something like that.
Something feels off. We completed just one puzzle room, and despite that, we've already reunited with the other group. As questions begin to spiral, Clover spots a map of this level that confirms our suspicions. The reason that the hospital room had an unmarked door.
We're back.
There's no time to waste. While Seven brings Ace up to speed, Lotus and I discuss our findings from each room. With her lazily handing us the Earth key, we would first need the key we found to unlock the door down the hallway.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry.
And so we see off Clover, Ace, and Seven.
Okay, we're heading out.
Be careful.
The rest of us use this moment to test the Jupiter key, which leads back to where it all started, except this time with new paths forward. Me and June are tasked with taking the elevator, but as we get on it...
I said wait a minute!
Why?
Aren't you afraid, Jumpy?
Afraid of what?
Well, I've never... You know...
It's your first time?
I might... get wet.
This might not be so cinema after all. To ensure her dryness, we are once again forced to separate. But she isn't just going to sit back and let us risk our lives alone. Thankfully for her, Junpei's theory was right. An E-deck is watertight, containing just the 6th door and map to E-deck. We meet back up with Santa and Lotus, who themselves have located the one door. It wasn't lost on us that we had discovered doors 4, 5, 3, 7, 8, 6, and 1. We were almost there. This realization from the former members of Door 4 seems to have raised the spirits a little, as everyone is joking and having a jovial time when we return to the others.
Hey! Where the hell did you guys go?
7? What's wrong?
Snake is...
Snake is dead. He died, just as the 9th man did.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Where is he?
The shower room, the left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
Feces and rotten meat. The source of this putrid stench wasn't very difficult to find. Tiny islands of flesh floated around the copious amounts of blood, organs falling out of a massive hole in the abdomen, the bone bursting out of his left arm. The only identifying information were his clothes, and the now removed number 2 bracelet. Seven says what we're all thinking. You need at least 3 people to open the door. Snake was murdered. As the group's built-up trust begins to dissipate, Ace brings us back with a different theory. It was Zero, doing his best to split the group apart. If this was Zero, then that could only mean one thing.
I think Zero is one of us.
Ace and June claim there's no proof, until Santa reveals his hand. Why is it that we have 81 seconds? If we did something Zero didn't like, he could just remotely activate the bombs or detonator or warn us through the loudspeakers. I mean, even the games are automatic. You would only do this if you couldn't keep tabs on the group at all times. And so it's more likely than not that one of us is Zero. But why would Zero hide as one of us? What's his motive? 3 hours left. With such little time and no evidence, we reluctantly agree to trust one another, although I don't know how you can enforce that after what just happened. In any case, Seven did find the Mercury key card that me and June scout out. Something she seems particularly happy about. An emotion we were both about to share. 1 left. With 3 doors discovered, less than 3 hours remaining, and the group less united than ever, we can't waste any more time. So for this round, everyone writes the door they want on a piece of paper. Well, most of us at least. Ace wants door 1, Santa 6, Clover wants 1, Seven and Lotus both want 2.
There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma. Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
Ace was eventually able to restrain Lotus and quickly gets Junpei to continue with June wanting door 6. All that's left for us is to execute our plan. We've written our choice on 3 pieces of paper, giving us the flexibility to choose door 1. Santa's immediately suspicious, but as everyone was focused on the paper he read out, Junpei slipped the others into his pockets, dodging the accusations. Unfortunately, that isn't the end of our problems. While our group can get through door 1, the others are stuck. Thankfully, Seven and Lotus moved to door 6, solving the issue, but not before reaching levels of misogyny not seen outside niche YouTube podcasts. After a heartfelt goodbye, hopefully the last one we have to do, we place our hands on the scanner and pull the lever.
And it's open! Move it! Where is it? There it is! Over there! It stopped.
Yes, it did.
Ace gets the wheelhouse. Clover, still ghastly as before, meant that it fell upon us to make progress in the form of a pocket watch, which is when Ace startles us, asking to take a look at the watch, which poses a problem. We need to be left alone with Clover for our plan to work, and thankfully, Ace gets the hint.
I apologize for the intrusion. Well, best of luck.
Patting me on the jacket pocket as if to say, it's legal in Japan. But it seems like it was more than just Ace who picked up what Junpei wasn't alluding to.
Oh, no, it's not like that.
What's it like then?
I just wanted to hear the rest of that story. I didn't get a chance to ask you about it until now.
What story?
About the experiment, remember? The one you started to tell me in the operating room? You said something about an experiment that happened here 9 years ago.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about that right now.
This is gonna be harder than I thought. To get her to open up and get closer to the truth, we ask Clover who she believes to have done it. She assumes there were only 2 other people in on it, and so the only possible combination would be Santa and 7. But to play devil's advocate, how do we know it was only 2 others? Well, because if it was more, then the only possible combination is literally everybody aside from Junpei, Clover, and June. 7 alone could traffic us to meet Trump on his friend's private island, and so it wouldn't make much sense to hide it from us. At that moment, Ace asks for help, but it was a ploy. He jabs his hand deep into my jacket and confirms his suspicions. He claims that he doesn't care because he got through his preferred door anyways, but I mean, if that was true, then why would he just not ask before molesting us? Whatever, we don't have time for this. The rest of the puzzle room was fairly simple, with Ace giving me fairly substantial hints the entire way. The exit leads to a radio station where we find...
That's what it says.
Then, do you think...
I am Zero, the captain of this ship.
Well, we won't know if we don't open it.
Not again.
A sense of hopelessness washes over our body. Another dead innocent through no fault of their own. We at least know the murder weapon was an axe, but that wasn't the most interesting part. Nor was the bracelet on his arm that read 0. Why is his blood still bright red? This was all too straightforward. So much so that the game doesn't even consider him being 0 a possibility. Even spelling out the letters on the computer as if to mock us. Clover confirms this is simple. So simple in fact that even the real 0 couldn't possibly think anyone would fall for this. But if he didn't think this would work, why would he do it? In any case, we should flip over the body. While we do feel sorry for this innocent man, we gotta look at the bright side. I mean, this could have been a lot worse. I mean, I'd rather die from an axe to the back than like Snake with blood and guts everywhere, legs at odd angles, a bone sticking out of his left arm.
What did you just say?
Oh boy. Clover looks on in shock as she was about to flip this entire game on its head.
I mean, didn't you see it too?
Of course not. I could barely look at him. There's no way I was gonna see the details. Are you sure it was his left arm?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
And he had a broken bone, right?
What the hell are you getting at here?
Just shut up and answer me!
Yeah, he did. It was pretty bad too. The bone was sticking out of the arm. Clover? What's wrong? Look, I'm sorry if I said anything.
Thank you.
Huh? What are you...
Thank you so much, Junpei. I'm sorry, it's just... I'm so happy.
Why?
The body in the shower room, it isn't his. It isn't my brother.
Huh?
It's not Snake.
In Clover's jubilation, she echoes our words and confides in us that she only made it this far because of the bookmark. But we let it slip that Santa was actually the one who told us about that.
Huh?
Did Santa really tell you those things?
Yeah, he did. Did I, say something wrong?
Oh no, not at all. In fact, this could be really good news, I think.
You think?
Santa knew about the words and the clover. The only people who should know about that are the other subjects.
Subjects?
The other people who were in the experiment 9 years ago, with my brother and me.
Something she didn't know at first, since she was part of the Nevada test group, and her blind brother was in the other. Wait a minute, start from the top.
What happened on this boat 9 years ago?
Do you know about morphogenetic fields?
That concept drove the game 9 years ago, the exact same game we were playing right now, the nonary game. In order to access a morphogenetic field, you would first need an epiphany, a eureka if you will. That epiphany can be transmitted through the field, but they aren't exactly consistent. Not unless you add the secret ingredient, danger. And to make morphogenetic transportation as efficient as possible, that danger could be nothing less than life or death. A game where you would have to put your very life on the line. And that wasn't for show either. Someone did die in those games, a little girl on the boat with Snake. And just as she was about to give the girl's name, Ace once again asks for my support. While the old man doesn't molest me this time, and I do consider that a win, I can't understand why he would need my help since the puzzle is simple. Just a little Morse code we have to transmit, which reveals a key hidden inside a book. The book's name was All Ice, filled with Egyptian hieroglyphics, which we obviously couldn't read. But that wasn't the point, as a keycard fell out of the pages. Printed on it, Bottom Deck Library.
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic.
Could beneath the navel mean the bottom deck, and the forest of knowledge is the library? Then could Alice be in a room somewhere beyond the library?
Ace is looking at me like even the slow classes went by too fast, so we break down the theory of Ice 9 and Alice, who along with the ship was purchased by Lord Cordain.
Hey, I thought they put a stop to that in 1865.
In keeping with this game's themes, Ace throws his own little-known conspiracy into the circle.
Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS?
Of course he's a Hearts of Iron player. Cells Alive system is essentially freezing organic matter without forming ice crystals so it doesn't damage any cells, thus leaving the person alive. Ace is insinuating that Alice may have been frozen through CAS, if Ice 9 does exist, and that Alice is actually alive. Okay, let's say theoretically that this is all true and Alice was placed in a location that was over 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Could she have killed the captain? Well, at least we have the key to the Forest of Knowledge, so for now we pocket that, stash the key, spot the 0 on the screen, see the 4-number keypad, write 0 in hexadecimal, and escape the room with the once again joyful Clover cheering me on. But as we enter the hallway...
Wait, a piece of paper. This is... Map of the ship's interior for A-Deck.
What's wrong?
I found a map for this floor.
I see.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
We realize that Clover is once again lagging behind.
Clover!
Huh?
What the hell are you doing?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing? What the hell is that?
What?
You've got something in your pocket. What is it?
Oh, this? This is... a note.
A note?
Yeah, I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes. It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something.
What the hell? Let me see it.
No, not right.
Hey, Junpei, Clover! What are you two doing? Hurry up!
He's getting mad. I'll show it to you later, all right? Come on, we gotta hurry.
From the look of that pocket, it doesn't particularly look like just a note. Jeez, what are you thinking? For crying out loud.
The big stairs. Huh. So this is where it ends up. Just like it says on the map. Ace, did he head down? Oh, there he is.
Look, the 4 others are there too.
Really?
Let's join them. Jumpy! Clover!
What's up?
We found it!
Found what?
We found it!
What did you find?
The last door! We found door 9!
Finally, after all this trauma, torture, and bloodshed, we were about to escape this hell. But who is going to escape? There are 7 of us, and only 5 people can get through a numbered door. Not to mention Snake's evident revival. The story was fairly simple. They went through the number 6 door and found the 9 door, which is when June says something I wouldn't have believed in a million years. Santa, 7, and Lotus make a digital route of 9. And it was in fact Santa who wouldn't let the others leave June behind. Now, it's not like the others wanted to leave. It was just that Santa of all people was the most adamant. Before we can give our thoughts, we make it. A door unlike any other on the ship, and behind it...
Oh. No way.
And it was about to get sweeter.
Oh, finally! This is the last! Junpei, look behind you. Behind? What? Why? A door and a 9. There's another one?
After all this time, we really thought the door would open, but aside from that brain fart, this makes you think. Is there a right door? Unlikely, as the entire game was built around logic rather than tricks. To rip the carpet from out underneath us would be un-Zero-like. And with no clues in the room, we can only hearken back to what Zero said on how we needed to find a 9 door, not the. But enough of that. We can all go home.
That's not gonna work.
The math shows that at most 3 or 4 people can make it through the door, all because the 9th man isn't with us. Everyone went quiet. 3 people would have to be left behind. In this deafening silence, Junpei's mind wandered to the coffin in the center. Is this the forest of knowledge? No, this coffin is a passcode.
Okay, I give up. I give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer. But I guess nobody's got the guts to do it.
What are you talking about?
Clover was wrong. There is a way for more than 4 people to get through the 9 door, but 1 person would have to be left behind. Our goal, right there. All we have to do was cut 1 person loose. We already had to say goodbye to 3. Besides, we'll call the rescue party as soon as we get out.
No, I am completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here.
I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either.
I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options.
I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero.
Not 1 person hesitated. We wouldn't be leaving 7 behind.
Alone.
What?
I said I don't want to leave 7 alone. What? You don't get it? I can't leave just 1 person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including 7. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. That's my proposal. No, those are my orders.
Okay. This bitch thinks he can tell us what to... So who gets to stay behind with 7? For the first time this game, 7's policeman instincts have failed, as Santa has all the cards. Ha! As Clover pleads for him to reconsider, he does something strange. He refuses to admit he knew about the 4-leaf clover, but why? Why would he act like he doesn't know? Like he's not one of us? After all, June said that he was the one who stood up for her, so what changed now? At this point, we can't say whether Santa's serious or not, and have to prioritize June's life. At least the people who stayed behind either care about June, are unfathomably based, or have some loose ends to tie up. The remaining 4 enter the 9 door, and leave the rest of us behind, forever.
June.
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do?
What the hell is that?
Shh, quiet!
Where is it coming from? Could it be?
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
You're right!
Let's open it.
We struggle to force open the coffin, but it's sealed tight. We need the passcode, but what could it possibly be? Is there anything here? In another room? No, Zero was meticulous. If there was a passcode, we'd have found it already.
What's the passcode? What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I need something.
What's the passcode? I need something. Why would he pull this stunt after that? 9 years ago, morphogenetic fades. Was he part of that? Who wanted him dead? She's an opportunist. She's too unstable. We need to look out for her. We thought that about Santa. Is she really what she seems? I need to try again.
It seems we've reached a conclusion. Shall we go?
Hey, wait. I want to go through door 5 too.